Hello everyone. In this video, I will be explaining you about creating data dictionary for university library systems. So before you start working on it, please read about the information that is provided here. The scenario is given here and different type of entities and relevant attributes related to each entity are clearly mentioned here. Okay, so these things should be clearly read and understood. Later, just cross check this highlighted area for each table, for each entity. Say, for example, if there is a student entity, for the student entity, what kind of attribute we are going to include, description of that attribute, and what type of data that attribute will be taking, what is the length, if length is applicable, and the valid range, starting number and last number, if it is a number, the range and other default values. Default value means if you don't give any value, what value it should take. These columns should be prepared. And for those columns, you are supposed to generate data. Let me show you the example in Excel sheet. Here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. There are 7 different fields. So I need to create 7 columns with different rows. For this kind of structure, we will be having different tables as it was discussed in the given task, like see user information. For this one, we will be creating entities for students, faculty, and library staff. These are the three different types of people who will be engaged with the library. So for each of these three, there will be unique details, attributes like ID number, name, and address. Say for example, if it is a student, if it is a student entity, then it will be like student ID, student name, and student address. Then what is the course taken, department. So for these details, you are supposed to give description about the attribute. Like this, we say like it is a unique ID that defines student table. Maybe the name that is given personally given to the each student. Then the address where the student stays, the course that is taken by the student, like that. Okay. If this is an integer type, like if the student ID is 1221, we call it integer type. If the student ID is like A1221, like that, it should be varchar, and the length should be taken then. If it is a number, length is not required. Valid range will be there. It will be starting and ending range will be there. And if value has the default value that you will be mentioning. Say for example, if there is a student name, if name is not given, the default name will be no name given, like this. You can keep anything. And I might say like no name given, like that. Okay, so in that way we can give some default values. If the student is not included in the course is not given, department is not given, we might be changing it. So anyhow, before you start working on preparation of this kind of data, I just want you to check what kind of data types these values can take, whether it is a string type. String means in database usually it will be varchar, varchar. If it is a string name kind of thing, it should be varchar. If it is number, it will be integer. Okay, so that you should remember. If it is some kind of cost related calculation, it should be float. These three things should be notified. So this kind of table should be created for multiple entities that are related to user information, where three tables will be prepared. One is for students, second one is faculty, and the third one is library staff. Then asset related information, for this also we have different types of assets. One is books, journals, ebooks, videos. So you need not to create different attributes for this one as different entities for this one entity, and you can take a type entity. So it will be like so when you are creating ERD diagram, you will understand. So the best idea for you is first prepare ERD diagram for with this data. So where we will be having student detail and asset detail, transaction related detail, and acquisition related detail. These we along here clearly given the names that will be included in the data also. So using this one, create ERD diagram. So in the ERD diagram, whatever the entities you identify for all those entities, you should create this type of data dictionaries. So use APA format and properly include it. All right. So that is the all about the task. So let me show you some ERD diagram kind of thing. You just check library entity relationship diagram. So like this, you might get like this. You get issue date, due date, fine, like this. And here, book detail, item detail, location detail, borrower, member. Here we gave it like member. This should be student, and the library staff will be issuing it like this. You just cross check. This is a simple ERD diagram which we can use. Copy. Operator is the person who is allocating the book. Here we will be issuing the book, and we are also purchasing the book for the library. So there will be different, like here, whatever the information that is given in this area, acquisition information, new assets are added to the library. Here, you are supposed to maintain detail about book purchases or like a journal inclusion in the library. Those details should also be included. So main cross check how many entities are there, and prepare ERD diagram. You will understand clearly. And for each entity diagram, there are different type of attributes, and you are supposed to describe those attributes. That is all about the task. Just make sure you review it properly and understand. This is a sample one. This is not exact ERD diagram, but you can understand from this one. Use this one because this clearly provides details about item. This is an item for this table, what we call asset information. This could be your asset. This is the asset table, and it consists of book. According to this one, we have book, journals, ebooks, videos. So for this item, these are the common details. In addition to this, we will be mentioning book related information, book, journal related information, video related information, and ebook related information. Like this, you will get four different columns and four different details like this. In the member area, member will be interacting with the location, right? Member and staff can also borrow books. So similar kind of this should be student. You rename this as student, and same kind of one more table will come, and that name will be professor or faculty. Then operator will be including the book. So in the item, you will be mentioning operator ID at the bottom. Okay, so same for item. For inclusion, you will be giving some details. Like that, you prepare your ERD diagram, and for each table, this is one table, one entity table, this is one entity table, this is one entity table, like this. For each entity, you are supposed to create this kind of data structure and give proper explanation. What is the type, length, valid range, and default values. That is the task. Okay. I'm sharing this link. Just take this for reference. All right. This is just for reference. You are supposed to update your own ERD diagram. Need not to copy paste any ERD diagram, but keep it for the future reference. So we might be creating ERD diagram in the next, like next week, we might be submitting that one. So make sure you prepare your ERD diagram and keep it available. All right. All the best. Do work on it and create a proper document. All right. Thank you.